Alrighty, hello everyone. So we got another little severe system. This time over far northern Illinois. It is heading pretty much straight for, this eastern storm heading pretty much straight for downtown Chicago. This southern one is actually increasing in strength. The northern one had rotation, and I believe there's a potential funnel cloud uh, potentially reported. No tornado warnings have gone out for it yet, but let's take a look at these severe thunderstorm warnings. I kind of read through them. Uh, this one was issued about 20 minutes ago, both from Romeoville. It was near Poplar Grove, which is up here. So this is moving pretty fast. It's 30 miles per hour, 60 mile per hour wind gusts, $half size hail. Radar indicated hail damage. Elgin, Bartlett, Crystal Lake, Carpentersville, St. Charles, Algonquin, Lake in the Hills, McHenry, Woodstock, Huntley, Island, Lake, Marengo, South Elgin, Cary, Pingree Grove, Gilbert, West Dundee, Hampshire, Fox River Grove, and Barrington Hills. Also I-90 between mile markers 32 and 56. Elgin Community College, McHenry County Fairgrounds, and McHenry County College and McHenry County Fairgrounds. This storm looks to potentially be weakening, but this southern storm, I'm keeping an eye on it for potential tornado warning. See it past Rockford. You got a little bit of a birdwing extension here. I like to call it. You have something trying to wrap around on the backside, which potentially, and also the southern storm is going to go over more rural areas, so it's going to potentially get that favorable conditions as it moves towards the warm front. Expected paths, I think this southern storm is going to probably take a pretty southeastern path, potentially hitting the Warren, Naperville down the road. This eastern storm, I believe this one is going to track more east and kind of go hit Highland Park. Might streak down towards Niles, but I believe it's going to go this way. Now, where I'm located at right here, I could feel when I was walking here, there is wind going in. You can see all the wind signatures. They are going into the storm, which could potentially pose inflow and cause potential rotation. And that's why I want to watch this storm. Right now, rotation-wise, it's not easy to really exactly tell. Pause it right here. So there is definitely a potential signature just southeast of Rockford for this southern storm, or for this western storm, and then we got a little bit up here by Riley right now, or about 7 minutes ago. So I think we could potentially see a warning issued, but right now, unknown correlation coefficient. I don't think we're going to see anything. Nah. And for this is for debris ball signature. Basically, you want kind of a blue, gray, greenish, and kind of an isolated circle, or kind of a little line that potentially signals a debris ball. Echo tops, not very tall thunderstorms, so they're not strong. They were strong, in my opinion, when they were up here in the Wisconsin-Illinois border. That's when this storm was producing golf ball size hail. This storm wasn't severe yet, but it started to blow up around the border. And you see we have a low pressure. We have the low pressure signature right here. So you're gonna have winds going into the storm because of the low pressure signature right there, which has been causing some possible rotation from what I'm seeing. So yeah, little notch right here, and then a little notch right here. If we go back to high definition, see, yeah, this storm is tough to tell. It really hasn't developed any good signature for a hook. This storm is trying to do something. One thing that I will say for this storm, it's looking more like a HP supercell or heavy precipitation supercell. You also got some other storms that I'm not really paying attention to right now. So I had some family in the past of both of these storms, so that's why I'm kind of looking at these. But look on my phone, see if I can get a better view of this rotation signature. So right now, you guys can't see this, but right now I'm looking at potentially over by Coral and Marengo. So about this area, about this front leading edge right here, there's potential rotation right here for this western storm. Not getting a good signature yet. Okay, so we are getting some good rotation. Not too much rotation. We're getting some in a couple spots. One by New Milford, and one up here by Belvedere. Now the one by Belvedere could be because of the radar cutoff, but there is some like I expected down here. Now we have like a severe thunderstorm watch. Probably won't be a long one. Yeah, 3 hours. So wasn't actually expecting some severe weather today. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, I'm also looking at it on my phone, kind of looking at anything. But yeah, you got a little bit of a split here, which if this bird wing shields this back end right here, that could increase potential tornado chance because winds are going into the storm from the southwest. You can see these wind signatures are going into the storm from the southwest. They're going to the storm that way. So, in my opinion, we could see a potential warning for a tornado because of rotation potential. But overall, it's weak rotation. If anything, you could see. I mean, you had. I don't really think that's rotation necessarily. You did have some. You do have some right here still, but I'm looking at potentially around here, but it doesn't look like it's that strong. So potentially a warning, but it looks like it'll be fine. I am looking at a second radar of opinion, but yeah, overall looking all right. Definitely some severe weather. So now, remember last time I streamed, we had quite a bit of a tornado warning outbreak. There was actually we could look at the SPC. We could look and see. And now this is a marginal. Before it was a slight. They didn't have anything up for us, but could look at storm reports from the outbreak. Let's say just a bunch of wind and one hail report. That was from earlier, I think. Not this day. For this day. Alright, so we do have a confirmed tornado report. McLean, Illinois. So, and this is not for today. This is for that tornado outbreak. Or not tornado outbreak, tornado warning outbreak. We do have one tornado report. It was an EF0 tornado with 85 mile per hour winds, 30 yards wide, and 3.4 mile track length. Tornado started at a half a mile southwest Leroy at 12:28 a.m. Central Daylight Time and moved at 3.4 miles southeast of Leroy at 12:34. So a 6-minute tornado, McLean County, Illinois. So we did have one tornado report. for that tornado outbreak. Official or tornado warning outbreak. I keep saying tornado outbreak. Tornado warning outbreak. 74 total reports. The wind was deadly, 42, and then we have hail, 31 reports, 5 of them being large hail. 2.25 inch hail reported by Cedar, Iowa. A lot of downed radars. Golf ball size hail. No, there was also baseball size hail reported in one of the storms. As I brought up my thing. Okay. So it looks like this eastern storm is trying to develop something in this area, which is actually my concern for rotation. You can see, yeah, there is something right here. So just northeast of Riley, but it's very minimal. It has had some rotation, and for this western storm, it's almost a southern storm. It's trying to do something, but I could see these storms start to weaken as they go south of the warm front. Of course, they're on a track heading for me, but yeah. So far, just severe warnings. Both of these storms are separate, so if you if you live in between these boxes, you're kind of lucky. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. And we do have a second. Oh, we did have a little bit of a hail core. I just saw, and we do have a second. Some cells behind these popping up, which is very interesting to see. Now, like I said, the wind is blowing from the southwest, so as this southern storm has officially lost its severe thunderstorm warning, so it is actually weakened more than what I thought. I'm surprised this northern storm has a severe thunderstorm warning issued on it again. That's interesting that this warning was canceled pretty quickly. Or they're going to issue another one and readjust the wording on it, but they usually would do that with the thunderstorm warning remains in effect update. Still getting quarter-size hail potential reports. And I'd expect as these storms to move through, the severe thunderstorm warning box to shrink. But as of right now, I'm still watching this western storm as it moves over more rural areas. I could see it potentially increasing intensity again. Get some rural areas down here. As you get further south, then you're going to start to run into more urban areas with the War and Naperville Plainfield. Some rural areas down here. Yeah. Very surprised this western storm had a cancellation. Just a marine. Oh no, okay. But yeah, we could look at some more rotation. Not really that strong. Really, the storm front is kind of better. Maybe some outflow winds and some inflow winds kind of wrapping around, but I don't really see anything that says hey. So that stands out to me. So I think we're okay for the tornado threat. As the storm moves over Chicago area, I'd expect it to lose some of its strength. And as the winds come off of the lake, they're going to kind of feed off this backside. You're going to have winds coming up from the southwest. But if this storm on the west of it gets ahead of it, it's going to get all that wind coming into it, and it's going to spit out outflow, weak outflow into this storm, and that's going to mess up its intensity. I wouldn't be surprised if this gets pretty interesting. So I want to take a look at echo tops just to see. Again, we still have some slight weak signatures, but nothing. I don't really see anything that says tornado on the ground. Otherwise, I'm assuming they would have a tornado warning issued. Enhanced echo tops. Let's see here. So yeah, this western storm has kind of lost its strength. This eastern storm is trying to hold on for its life in terms of severe strength. Now I want to see. Hold on. There is I just want to see. Its current. What is going on? Oh, it's a time lapse. Okay. Well, that's not what I want. Okay. They had a webcam, I thought. I guess this would work. I just want to see if they have a. It's still giving me. I don't want Valparaiso University. You know what? Let's look at Valparaiso University. Well, like I said, it's not giving me live. It's not getting me live. Just a time lapse. Okay. Well, there goes that. There was a webcam. Oh, a couple of months ago. This is all in Spanish. I was just going back to the Witterbug. There was a webcam a while ago where I could take a look at it. But let's go back here. And I don't think the stream will go as long. You can see this southern or this west. I can pretty much gonna call it a southern storm. It's southwestern storm. To me it doesn't have the intensity, but it's still gonna bring probably 35, 40 mile per hour wind gusts. Very close to severe weather. This still has 38 minutes remaining on it. Now it's reporting nickel size hail, so it's mainly severe because of the wind gusts, because nickel size hail is barely an inch. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to want to see if I can use my geography skills to find. Okay, here we go. This is where about College of the Page is. So I'll probably go in between. But yeah, the severe thunderstorm warning doesn't have or has quite a bit of time left on it. I think 35 minutes, 37 minutes. That western storm. It definitely lost some intensity. This storm to the east of it, it still has that intensity. But yeah, there's definitely wind. Whether it's strong or weak, it looks like it's stronger out south of the warm front. A little bit weaker as it, but there is some. Assuming these are right, but there is some inflow heading into both of these storms from the southwest that could influence potential rotation. Still nothing. Nothing that really interests me. Now we do have. I wish I knew how to stop it. And this southern or western storm is starting to lose its intensity even more. See, the heavier winds are kind of, or the heavier rain spots are just losing its intensity, velocity. Um, See, we did have some pretty good rotation with this eastern storm. Look at all that. That was really strong, and there was a potential tornado labeled by the National Weather Service because there definitely was a strong rotation signature just northeast of Belvedere, heading just west of Marengo, and kind of died out. It's trying to reproduce it, but it's really weak right now. The storm is mainly severe because of winds and because the hail is below an inch. You need not this product. You need about an inch of hail, an inch in diameter of hail to be considered severe. So yeah, this storm has lost its cloud height, so it's weakening again. But the southern storm, or this western storm, is starting as it, like I said, as it starts to move more towards rural areas. It's starting to regain potential strength. That's probably where this little blotch of heavier rain is. Yeah, it's pretty interesting to see. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect, along with one warning. The watch, I believe, is ending at 8 o'clock. I have to check, but I'd assume as these storms kind of move out of the area, the watch box will shrink. Let me just confirm. Till 8 p.m. Yeah, so 8 o'clock is when it ends. But I expect that to, as these storms move out of the area, to for the watch to die out. But we do have the watch continuing all the way down to Braidwood, Illinois, Wilmington, Illinois, almost all the way down. Excuse me, almost all the way down to Kankakee. So national or uh, SPC definitely sees something. Issue a watch for all the way down, almost near Kankakee. So good potential, and it is until 8 o'clock, so we could see some more storms form off these, and we do have some in the right behind it. But for a tornado event, you really don't want that to happen. They form right behind it. You want like a half-hour break for conditions to increase. We got an updated warning about 7 minutes ago. Still nickel size hail. So it's mainly because of the wind gusts. Because nickel size is barely an inch, so I guess you can count the hail as severe as well. But anything below nickel size, you're basically focusing on the winds or potential tornado. We might have a little notch trying to develop here, but maybe not. Like I said, the winds are coming up from the southwest, so they're gonna kind of come around these storms this way and in, which is why this storm is blocking any potential rotation from this storm. If this storm wasn't here, this storm could have dropped a tornado and had along this path because it had some really strong indication, and there could have been a tornado dropped, but it couldn't be confirmed. And National Weather Service of Chicago labeled a tornado potentially with this storm. But let's take a look at velocity. There's echo top. So still, this storm is not as strong as is not as strong in my opinion because the echo tops are not as big. nothing. But as you can see, I believe it's around here. Look at that. That was strong rotation. Absolutely strong rotation for this entire way. And this is the eastern storm. Okay, so yeah, extremely strong rotation as it heads toward down to Marengo. So that they're gonna have to send a survey team out there tomorrow. Look at potential damage because I think there could have been a quick touchdown for a tornado. But as of right now, don't see much besides wind threat. This western cell is trying to intensify, but at the same time, it's struggling. Yeah, I could see this warning being canceled here soon, as it's just not as intense as it was, and I expect that as it goes more over urban areas. There's Batavia. Storm is heading pretty much on this path towards Batavia. Yeah, but SPC say you see something in this storm, and we could actually, well, this is plain. We could actually go to what did that COD and then take a look at the Cape instability models or instability that they had. That models had. Okay, so yeah, that's a ton of Cape that just broke through about an hour and 15 minutes ago. So this is uh, kind of all the storms were in southern Wisconsin. Not, I'm just looking at the stuff. Yeah, it has tornado reading, but as far as I know, there was not a tornado warning issued, but there possibly was a tornado kind of over here. This is very close to potential killed radars. Okay, so no, this isn't bad. So yeah, this is about time frame. There was potential tornado. The issue is this winds are if you go up in the atmosphere, they're not strong enough. So if it did drop one, it was probably like a quick 1 minute EF0 with like 80-mile-per-hour winds. But yeah, any updates? Did we lose our warning? No. Okay, that's an interesting little tail off the end of it. Just developed right away. Pretty interesting. And this box continues to shrink as these storms go by because this entire area uh, was included in the Severe Thunderstorm Watch as these storms came through, and there's nothing behind it. So it's just a freak event. So I know the White Sox game is supposed to happen tonight. Pretty big series for them, but they'll probably have to delay for a good hour and a half, 2 hours until these storms pass. And eventually these may make their way towards me. So we'll see. I don't expect them to be too strong when they hit me, but they'll definitely re-energize as they go off the lake and could see potential stuff down here. But right now, this is pretty nice, pretty cool to see of this little tail developing off the end here. Almost giving this western storm like a drumstick look. Well, we'll see. I have alerts on my phone, so I'll definitely be able to. I'll definitely get an alert before it comes up on the radar for tornado warning. But I guess you could take a look at velocity and take a look at the product, see what's going on. Got some outflow winds here. Yeah, I don't see anything. This is just all ground clutter. I don't know how to fit. These storms, this eastern storm is looking weird. 24 minutes remaining on the warning. It's moving east now at 25 miles per hour. So this storm's gonna take a path kind of like this now, and I kind of expected that. It's gonna get winds off the lake, kind of going like this. So it could produce a water spout out here, but tornado risk, I don't think we're gonna see anything at all, which is good. But like I said, there might have been a tornado that potentially went through Poplar Grove and down towards Marengo. Potentially. Not confirmed. And actually, they'll start it out near here. It's not confirmed, but there's a strong radar indication that looked like a potential tornado. So, that damage team will have to go out and we'll have to reevaluate this tomorrow when I start my daily forecast videos back up. I'm going to have a weekly forecast video up tomorrow as well. But we will see what happens with that. There potentially could have been a tornado. And there was only one for that potential outbreak yesterday, which is interesting to see. Pretty interesting we have that tail though. I got an alert on my phone about a special weather statement. Hampshire, Burlington. I gotta look at this. This might be the western storm. Alright, yeah. So this storm has now re-intensified. It has a special weather statement on it. As 50-mile-per-hour winds, no hail is expected, according to National Weather Service. I'm looking at it on my phone, what the special weather statement look is. Yeah, this storm is re-intensifying and has a special weather statement on it. It is heading this way, so I definitely prepare for some heavy rain near St. Charles, Geneva, Batavia, West Chicago, Carroll Stream, Wheaton. It'd be interesting to see what happens as both of these storms hit the dry line, and or the not the dry line, warm front. This is a the low pressure right here. This eastern storm still has a severe thunderstorm warning on it. Not intense. Intense. It's not like the storms from a couple days ago. Still just 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail. Has about 20 minutes on it left. It is moving more east now, so now it's moving southeast. So it's moving like an east-southeast type of pattern. Oops. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out how I think I just did that. Back in my location. I don't understand why I can't pause the main radar. But I guess I can't. Oh, don't want that. Please don't. Okay. We could take a look at radar or velocity again. So we're starting to get a potential notch again here on this eastern storm. It's very weak. Could be ground clutter, and it's more of a bulge of lines. So we could potentially be getting straight line winds. Oh no, that's just kind of like pushing into the storm. So we're getting winds headed coming from the north, and we're getting those winds from the north intersecting with winds coming from the south. And I'm assuming the winds from the south are stronger to be able to push the storm in this weird, far, funky formation. Never seen anything like that, like this, where it's almost like a backwards C shape. But this storm potentially could be weakening, or there could be rotation kind of circling around right here, and we could potentially extend this warning. This storm is starting to intensify again. I want to look at echo tabs just to see. Echo tabs do a really good job. You see, this one has a ton of outflow. This entire thing, so it's more of a heavy wind threat that I'm looking at now instead of a tornado threat. Echo tabs. I don't think there really was a tornado threat, and oh yeah, this storm is re-intensifying echo top wise. So we potentially could have uh, redevelopment of hail and potential rotation with this eastern storm. And it's kind of really interesting. So it's kind of dying out in front of it, but this is increasing right here, which tells me that this storm on the west of it is kind of sucking in all the energy and spitting out its the weaker energy into the storm, which potentially is it's very interesting to see. But storm, we have a new update on the warning. Oh, very interesting to see the storm do this. It was a nice organized cell, kind of died down, and now it's kind of like blop. I don't know if there's like a break in the radar, or if the storm is rapidly getting smaller and potentially weakening. Anyways, this had an exciting moment. But anyways, yeah, this eastern storm is definitely intensifying. Velocity wise, yeah, it's just mostly an outflow event from what I'm seeing. So far, what I'm looking at is not very interesting. I know I'm saying that a lot, but this storm is still keeping them. It hasn't radar hasn't updated yet, so it's still keeping its strength by just this little blotch of heavy stuff. And this storm has kind of weird looks to it, almost like a dinosaur with a tail on the end of it. Alright, so we have a new additional severe thunderstorm warning, and pretty interesting to see this storm. Uh, Still no updated radar, but we got the new warning. Let's take a look at this warning. This was just issued until 6:30 p.m., so about an hour. The thunderstorm was located over Carpentersville, moving southeast at 30 miles per hour, 60 mile per hour wind gusts, and quarter-size hail. That's about an inch. Elgin, Arlington Heights, Schaumburg, Palatine, Des Plaines, Mount Prospect, Hoffman Estates, Glenview, Elmhurst, Buffalo Grove, Bartlett, O'Hare Airport, Streamwood, Hanover Park, Wheeling, Park Ridge, Addison, Northbrook, Elk Grove Village, and Niles. So this severe thunderstorm warning will be between mile markers 57 and 77 and I-90. I-290 between mile markers 1 and 15 and I-35 and mile marker 30. Oakton Community College, Schaumburg Boomers Baseball, and Harper College are also all included. I definitely include Chicago Dogs Stadium, parts of the L. Interesting to see. Still have not gotten a warning update or radar update for these storms. I think we just got one. Yep, we did. Okay. So, interesting. So this storm is more of like a condensed supercell type of storm. This storm is catching up and it's kind of forming like this, so I'm assuming this part of the storm will get severe warned as well. But yeah, something is going on. Again, you got all of these. Okay, we have a new warning that was issued. Okay, so yep, okay. I expected that. I literally just called it. Okay. Need a broadcast requested. I'm surprised this box can get filled in right here. King County, Northwestern DuPage County, Pingree Grove over Campton, or near Captain Hills, moving 30 miles per hour. 60 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Hail damage is expected. Aurora, Naperville, Elgin, Wheaton, Downers Grove, Lombard, Bartlett, Carroll Stream, Hanover Park, Addison, Glendale Heights, St. Charles, Glen Ellen, West Chicago, Batavia, Huntley, Geneva, Campton Hills, Lisle, and Bloomingdale. So I know I have family in Batavia right now for volleyball, and I do have family living down here. So you guys should get prepared for some hail. Um, yeah, definitely prepare for some hail. I'd give the storm about 15 minutes until it crosses this area. 10 to 15 minutes, maybe maybe closer to a half hour. Looking at on a interesting radar, and so I'm looking. Where's Burlington at? I'm looking potentially right here. Potential rain rats rotation, and for right here, potential rotation west of Algonquin. So two areas of potential rotation. This storm, I'm looking at a different radar on my phone because it's tough to tell on here. I guess I could pull it up and try and show you. Okay, so yeah, not as strong on this radar that is showing up, but definitely right here. And let me just pause it. Right here. This is where I'm looking at right now. So, or up here, or down here too. Mainly a gust front that I'm looking at, but there is potential wraparound back here on the back side of it. So we could potentially see. I just prepare for nasty, nasty gust of winds for your first 5 minutes of the storm, and heavy, heavy rain and hail associated with it. anyone has any questions for me in the chat, also let me know, just in case, because I can answer questions. Timing I can't, of storms I can't show you exact, but I can give you my best estimate. Yeah, if anyone has any questions, go ahead and let me know. As of right now, just looking at severe, mainly a wind threat for the beginning of the storm. It's pretty interesting to see. If I zoom in, you got a little attachment of both of the storms just west of Carpentersville, so pretty interesting to see. If I was Nash, I was Romy, but I would have had this area and this area filled in. I don't know why they're not filled in. Yeah, it's very weird. Um, but yeah, looking at this tail right here. To me, this is not a dangerous part of the storm. Now, if these southwestern winds start to get intense and it starts to wrap, then yeah, that could be a concern. See, this warning box got updated, so this is mainly the concern of the storm. If you're in the path of this tail, don't think anything's going to happen. It might get some lighter wind gusts and a stretch of heavy rain. But if those winds, see, they're not that strong ahead of the storm. If you can see, you usually want them to be like this, long lengths. If they're longer in length, and that means you're probably getting 40, 50 mile per hour winds. And the, 1,000 feet off the ground, almost 850 millibars, which is almost the surface. But it could, starting to build. This is the area that I'd be concerned at, just west of Virgil, which is probably more like right here, but no, because you're getting more action of that wind going in here like this. So this area could do something, but this back end of this, the tail. Now, could it improve, or could it build potentially? Got a new update on here, I believe. Yeah, it's kind of bowing out, so this storm, I definitely say it's heading towards the southeast. The tail, I'd say it's a little bit more intense than what it was on the last update. This is the newest update, and see it's hit Virgil now, so that's what I was expecting. So I'd expect this storm to kind of go this way. I'd expect the trying to get a freeze frame. This part of the tail, it can track over Aurora. I could show you, check the velocity real quick. So yeah, we're getting a ton of outflow winds. Again, we're getting some minor rotation on the backside, but that also could just be something else. But mainly, we're getting a bunch of outflow. If you look outside, you might see if you're in the rural area, you might see a nice shelf cloud getting ready to come in. That'd be a good picture opportunity. That possibly giving me a nice shelf cloud feeling. This storm up here is starting to re-intensify. Um, uh, yeah. I actually want to go back and see Echo Top, see what's going on with this. So this western storm is slightly more intense. See the red is giving it a little bit better cloud, a little bit higher in elevation for cloud tops. When you start to see really dark red and green and grays, that's when you have a good hailstorm or tornado storm. Glacier coefficient. You might see some readings of wind damage on here, and I don't really see anything, but velocity, yeah. These storms are definitely re-energizing. And like I said, this storm is going to re-energize as it went over more of the rural areas. This storm is getting a winds off the lake, getting sucked into it, so that's going to re-energize it a little bit more than what I thought it would. But yeah, I'm kind of at just two main cells. I'd expect to watch boxes up here in that west that get canceled here in the next half hour. I don't think we're going to see anything else. I mean, this might do something up here. I'm unsure. Overall. Let's take a look at the hurricane. That's funny. This is a slight risk, and there's absolutely nothing going on with it. And you're getting on severe weather down here. Let's look at Hurricane Fiona. It's looking like its track is going to go off. Oh, is that a is this a hurricane category 5? Is that what this is saying? Oh no, it's storm. Okay, I thought that was a hurricane. I thought that was a category 5. Okay. Whew. I got worried for a second. That's tropical storm. Um, Category 1, yeah. This is really intensified, and the fact that it's expected to reach Category 4 status, and the fact that it's expected to hit Canada, provinces of Canada, it is a Category 2 is pretty interesting. You get a wildfire. I don't know how that happened. We also got this low. We also have a couple invest lows. This is what I'm talking about. This one potentially 60% and 80% chance. This one, I was looking at the models earlier. This could potentially reach Category 5 and strike this area of the United States. It could shift west and hit New Orleans. It could shift east and hit Tallahassee. But this is on projection for a potential Category 5 or major hurricane. So I definitely pay attention to that. So if you know anyone that's living in this area, I definitely pay attention here. So I could actually, let's make sure that there's nothing. Oh, my app just crashed. That's great. Sometimes it does that. On it too much. No tornado warning, just making sure. Hold on, let's back out to the U.S. Did you choose? I actually want to back out. Okay, I guess I have to go. I have to go to GFS to see this, anyways. I could look at wind speed, and I'll look at the radar reflectivity for it. So this is Fiona. As Fiona kind of does its thing, we have that hurricane. There it is, right there. That's what I'm worried about. And this is an intense hurricane, so it looks like it's actually shifting east now. And that's going to go right over Tallahassee. So Florida State campus definitely going to get something there. You can see a well-defined eye wall, and you're getting pretty good shear. This is 112 knots of shear, I believe, which is almost triple than ideal conditions for tornadoes. See, this doesn't count. This model's killed, and you get the photographs off the graph. But this is definitely going to be a dangerous hurricane. And if I can get Cape, kind of see that spin up. I don't think it's going to say anything. But this is definitely going to turn into something, in my opinion. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Simulate reflectivity. Here we go. This is what I want to look at. See, that is a well-defined eye wall just west of Florida. high wall dies out, and this system continues as it goes east. Now, this is far in advance, but there is a really high chance of this actually happening. Oh yeah, I definitely alert anyone, and look at this warm front. It is shifting constantly to the northeast, and where did our low pressure system go? Where did our low go? What? Something's weird. Anyway, so this storm. Where's Batavia? Oh, here's Batavia. Yeah, if you're in the path of the storm, yeah. This is about to hit you guys. I'd say next 2 or 3 minutes, potentially. I could take one last look at velocity for everyone in this area. It's just all outflow winds, so you're going to get a nice shelf cloud, and you're going to get a lot of winds in the beginning, 50 to 60 mile per hour winds with gusts potentially 65. Let me see if they updated the warning. It doesn't look like anything has been updated, but yeah, this storm's gonna go. It's gonna come pretty fast. This storm up here is really intensifying. Yeah, this White Sox game is definitely gonna get delayed for a while. This one still no updates on it. Very surprised I haven't had a cancellation of the severe the watch out here. The SPC must be seeing something for later. If you guys don't know, the SPC is what issues the tornado and severe thunderstorm watches. SPC does that. Storm Prediction Center. Uh, the local offices, so like Romeoville, they issue the warnings, and they also, I believe, they also issue the warnings for winter weather, and as well as the watches for winter weather. But I could be wrong on that, on the watches part. I know National Center, the National Hurricane Center does everything for tropical weather. But yeah, local forecast offices like Romeoville, they have the warnings, and I believe the winter weather warning and watches. And the national, so the SPC has severe thunderstorm and tornado watch, and they have the severe thunderstorm and tornado watches. This is an interesting formation of the storm right here. I definitely say that you're going to get just non-stop wind, and this is nice. So you're getting a tornado on radar, literally, formation right here. That's pretty cool to see. Batavia. Yeah, Batavia, you're about to get hit. Probably not by the bad part. Yeah. These storms are moving so slow. They were moving faster. They were moving 40 miles per hour up here, but they've slowed down as they've crossed the warm front, which I have no idea why the low pressure on this map is now up here. I don't think it moved that fast. You never know what's going on. What is my radar doing? Okay. We have reports of sirens going off now in Batavia by a family member. Um, I'm assuming that's just mainly from outflow winds, but there are reports of sirens going off in Batavia. Let's take a look at this. Okay, that's just a ton of outflow wind. So there must be. I don't know if they see anything on the ground, but sirens are currently going off. Might just be emergency management doing that because there has been no reported tornado warnings. But reports are that sirens are going off in Batavia. So if you're in Batavia, I'd take cover just in case they're calling something in for a tornado. But as of right now, I don't see anything that tells me, hey, tornado. But I definitely take cover if you're in Batavia because sirens are reportedly going off. Trying to see on my other radar. Okay. Just northeast of Batavia, we have rotation that I could see on my phone app. It's not strong, but there is rotation in that storm. Okay, there is a strong rotation signature right north of Batavia. We might have a potential tornado right here. So this is my area of concern that's moving east. We have see here. I would definitely have a tornado warning issued right now. Romeoville does not have one issued, but if sirens are going off, that means emergency management sees something. So there's either a funnel cloud or a tornado on the ground. We have no correlation coefficient reported. There are no debris balls, so that doesn't really tell me that there's a tornado on the ground, and this is just blocked out from the radar. But yeah, this is my concern right here. This is in the backside of the strong winds. It's heading due east. It is okay. I'm looking for that. In my opinion, I would have a tornado warning issued uh, publicly instead of just sirens going off for this area around here. I would not include Aurora in that, but I would definitely include uh, North Aurora, Batavia, Naperville, West Chicago, because I don't know what this thing is going to do. Geneva. Um, there is heavy rotation reported or looking like in this storm. Now that's 9 minutes ago, so when we get an update, we'll see. But emergency management in Batavia has set off the tornado sirens, and I would definitely have a warning issued. That is a concern of mine that there is no warning issued. This is area, this extreme heavy rain right now. So this is a rain wrapped potential tornado or funnel cloud. That's pretty much right over Geneva and Batavia. It's a little bit east, I would say, right here. Um, yeah. So there is a potential tornado on not on the ground necessarily, but there is heavy rotation, and this rain is gonna conceal it. So I think we might have had a potential second tornado of the day. Okay, so that rotation is kind of fizzled out. So I think that was a quick spin up, but also it's getting close to radar interference where it's going to be tough to tell. There is a tiny bit just east right here. It looks like the potential tornado threat has died off. But as you can see, yeah, there's a bit of a cut right there about 5 minutes ago. Oh, yeah, this is to me, this would be the area of rotation if there was a tornado. As you can see, there's a little, little separation right here. So that rotation came down pretty much right over Geneva and has kind of shifted south. So it's heading towards Interstate 88 right now. Um, tornado warning. There has not been a tornado warning issued. I would have issued one back when the rotation was up here. Uh, That rotation was very brief, but it was significant rotation, and it's gone away. It's say the tornado threat is diminished, but just in case, I'd stay cover until this thing passes, because there definitely was strong rotation. You can see it's still an outflow dominant storm, so it's the heaviest part of the storm is going to be the beginning. And as this storm continues moving southeast, it's probably going to lose some strength, but it's going to regain it. It's here as it kind of comes down here my way, which will be interesting to see. But yeah, right now I'd say the tornado threat. There were sirens reported going off. I think it's done. As you can see, the the watch boxes are just kind of dissipating, and this entire thing, I'd expect the severe thunderstorm warning to be extended for this part of the storm for all of Chicago. Let's see if they've updated anything. So the public has the source for quarter-size hail. All the pages included in that. So the public has that. This one, quarter-size hail. So yeah. But I'd still definitely. I mean, I remember these winds are coming from the southwest, but this is a mainly outflow dominant storm along this region. Uh, my concern is still we're going to get potential winds inflow coming into this notch right here, because that's the area of where rotation was. So that'd be my concern at the moment for cities ahead of the storm. Looks like we're getting more of a bowing out for this outflow winds. This is all really doesn't matter in the red back here. That one spot right there that you just saw. Try and pause it on it. That was the spot that I we potentially had a potential spot where we saw a tornado around right here, or funnel cloud. There were reports of sirens going off, so I don't know if those sirens are still going off or if they are shut off. But Batavia, you should be out of the storm pretty soon, and you should be completely out of any threat in the next 10 minutes or so. Now that the threat moves more south and east. Zoom in. Let's see here. Might actually see the storm kind of movie. So now, what I'm seeing is starting to concern me even more. How this storm is starting to now try and wrap around this western storm. Could mean nothing, but these winds are starting to, and since you have a dominant outflow wind, you got winds going from your southwest. That's going to cause clouds trying to spin up down here. So I definitely want to keep an eye on that. So far, no inflow on radar, but it's just all outflow dominant. So you're going to get extreme heavy winds, probably 65-mile-per-hour winds for your first 5 to 6 minutes of the storm, then heavy rain and potential spin up for about 5 minutes, but I don't think so. In this part to your northeast now, starting to stay with this storm, and this storm, or this little cell ahead of it, is kind of breaking off. But we do have a marine warning. I just want to see what they expect in terms of water spouts. It looks like they don't see anything. 40 knots, small hail. Probably 46 miles per hour, I'd say. 45 miles per hour. Something like that. Outflow wise, or velocity wise, don't see anything. Now you're going to start getting into a point where this radar is not going to help, or the velocity is not going to help because it's going to get to an interference with the radar unless something happened and change echo tops. Yeah, I can't tell echo tops because of this. I'm assuming you got strong echo tops along here. But because of radar interference, because it's getting closer to the radar, you're not going to get those good echo tops. Really anything. Correlation coefficient, same exact thing. Now, the good thing is I don't see anything that tells me there was a tornado on the ground. So I think we might have had a funnel cloud sighting that was not reported to the National Weather Service. And we have an extended severe thunderstorm warning for this entire region, which is pretty interesting to see. This is a new one. Hour 15 minutes left. It's starting to get to Indiana now. Northeastern Will County, southeastern DuPage County, southeastern Cook. 35 miles per hour. History of damaging wind, or producing wind damage. Okay, so we have reports of wind damage. But this definitely has a dominant outflow boundary. Social media and public reports. So I have a feeling those sirens that went off, there was potential funnel cloud, but I think we might have had more extreme winds up to 80 miles per hour. Damage roof setting and trees. A lot of people are going to be impacted by this. And this is going to start getting to Indiana. And this is a pretty significant storm if they've extended the warning all the way out to the border of Indiana. Still an outflow dominant storm. You might have something right here, but it's tough to tell. Looking at National Weather Service statements. Okay, so they're saying that the strongest winds are moving through Glen Ellen, Wheaton, and Lombard. That's interesting to see that. Okay. If anyone is at the White Sox game right now, definitely be watching because this storm is not going to slow down. One thing to note though is that storm on the northern part looks to potentially be weakening, so we might, unless they see something, Romeoville. They might cancel this morning up here, but that's still heavy rain. That's going to be delaying that White Sox game for quite a while. In fact, they're probably already getting some drizzling right now because this is a delayed radar, and they actually probably just got a little bit of rain before. And of course, this is a big series for them, and of course, the rain has to happen. But I'd say, Batavia, you are out of the threat from anything. Aurora, you're pretty much out of the threat at this point. Naperville, you're still in the threat. Uh, anything or anyone out in front of the storm, you're definitely in the threat as of right now. These lines of storms, I've been paying attention to them quite a while. They started pretty much up here. They were just like storm right here, storm right here, storm right here, storm right here. The storms that were over here kind of are what is over here, the remnants of it, all that. Somehow have a high pressure here while there's a bunch of storms. So the high and low pressure on this map is probably wrong. But at this point, I'm just looking at an alpha dominant storm. I'm not looking at anything tornadic wise. According to the map, obviously. I'm not there right now, so could have something for me. There's reports, yeah. And I do have a second map on my second radar on my phone that I'm looking at. I definitely agree. I think there are some strong winds by Lombard, Glendale Heights, heading towards Addison, Lombard, Elmhurst, heading towards that area. And you can see the severe thunderstorm warning. So Geneva is out of it, north or Batavia, north Aurora. Aurora is out of it. So pretty much just this blob right here is going to be the biggest threat as the storm moves on into more and more urban areas. Ugh. They updated this box. They might have updated trends. Don't see anything. Like I said, North Storm, as the northern part of the storm has been canceled. I expected that. We'll see if they reissue it as it gets closer to the lake. But it's going to be more of a marine. It's going to be more of a lake type storm out here pretty soon. So yeah. Might see a re-update and see what happens. So they feel pretty confident this storm is going to hold its strength. And I'd expect it to hold its strength. The fact that as fact, fact that it's keeping this pretty significant outflow boundary. It's not as strong, but it still has a pretty good outflow boundary that looks to have passed over Naperville. And that was 9 minutes ago. So this outflow boundary is probably more over here. So Naperville, I'd say, is out of the main threat at this point in time. This is a It's not moving terribly fast. It's moving 35-ish miles per hour with a strong outflow boundary, which I'd say as soon as it passes, as soon as the main winds start picking up, it'll probably be done in about 10 minutes for your area. Now, as this storm moves south of Naperville, I'll have to check, but I might end the stream for now when it moves officially past Naperville and this box gets canceled. And I'll keep an eye on it, and if it looks like we might have potential tornado, then I'll re-hop on the stream. But it looks like the northern part of the storm is weakening quite a bit. So, yeah, we're just going to wait for it to pass through Naperville and for this box to be completely gone, and then we'll call it a stream. Unless a tornado warning happens to get issued, which by my luck has happened. I remember in a stream for the severe weather outbreak, I said I would take a break. I said I was going to take a break multiple times, and multiple times either a new tornado warning got issued or other storms started kicking up. Velocity. So yeah, there's actually a little bit of a hitch again, kind of in between Wheaton and Lombard. Kind of want to take a look at it on the map. So yeah, that's where the heaviest rain is. So they might be getting something rotation wise. But that's gonna go north of Naperville, Downers Grove. It's probably gonna come down this way. if it keeps its strength, it'll probably go right over Oak Lawn, but I don't see anything. Notice how quickly the storm has left entire Batavia, North War, and the War area. So this storm is moving fast, and it's almost out of the Naperville area. Uh, and I'd expect it to be out of out of the Naperville area, if not already, in the next 2 or 3 minutes, because this radar has not been updated for about 8 minutes. So I'd expect an update, or what on the next update for the storm to be completely out of the Naperville area. Now, because of this wider base, this warning will probably, at least for they might cut off part of this warning, but I'd expect this warning to be done in the next 10 to 15 minutes. They just focus on just this warning. Actually, Romeoville might get a little bit of a shower. And yeah, that box went away. Yeah, I expected that. I expected the next update for it to be done. And as you can see, the severe thunderstorm watch behind this is diminishing every single time as this goes. So I'd expect, you can see up here, Ireland's nice. But I'm probably gonna call the stream here. Reason is because I was mainly focused on the areas where I knew I had people living. Wanted to make sure, but yeah, overall, this storm is pretty much done for the Naperville area. So I'm probably gonna call the stream. If anything happens, if a tornado warning gets issued, which I hope it doesn't get issued here in a second, but I'm probably gonna call the stream, and if anything happens, then I'll probably hop quickly back on here and take a look. But overall, I don't think this is going to be a tornado threat. I think it's going to be mainly a wind threat, and it'll probably diminish as it continues on. I don't expect it to continue much longer after this warning. So yeah, that's going to do it for this stream, and take care.